Everything you think you know about breathing is incomplete. You've been taught that breathing is just a biological act, something that happens automatically, effortlessly, without importance. But that's the first illusion that needs to be shattered. The air that enters and leaves your lungs isn't just oxygen. It's a hidden force that operates quietly within you. It carries energy, influences your emotions, affects your mind, and can even unlock higher states of consciousness. You can ignore it and go on autopilot like most people, or you can learn to control it and completely transform your inner energy. The choice is yours. Look around you. Amidst the chaos of daily life, no one stops to think about their own breath. It happens effortlessly, unnoticed. But here's the truth. What you do unconsciously every day could be the key to changing your reality. Why do some people stay calm under pressure while others crumble? Why are some full of energy while others live exhausted? The difference lies in how they breathe, and more importantly, the awareness they have about it. Breathing isn't just about surviving, it's about accessing hidden states within you. And those who understand this can unlock a level of self-control that most will never achieve. Welcome to the Arcane Vault. This isn't new. Ancient civilizations already knew that breathing was more than just a physiological reflex. The yogis of India, the Tibetan monks, the Chinese sages, they all understood that air carries vital energy. So what happened? How did we lose this knowledge? The answer is simple: distraction. Our modern society has trained us to live disconnected, to focus on the external and forget the internal, to seek energy in coffee, food, and social media, while the true source of power has always been within us, flowing with every breath. But now you're starting to remember. There's an advanced method, an ancient technique used by monks and spiritual masters that can generate internal heat, awaken your life force, and even expand your consciousness. And the best part? You don't need years of training to feel the effects. Stick with us until the end, because we're going to teach you exactly how to do it. Since the beginning of time, air has been more than just a physical element. It was seen as a sacred force, a direct channel between the human and the divine. While science sees oxygen as just biological fuel, ancient civilizations understood that there was something more, something invisible yet deeply real. The Egyptians believed the breath of life was a gift from the gods, given at birth and taken at death. For the Mayans, the wind was the manifestation of the gods, a vehicle of power and transformation. Were these cultures wrong? Regardless of the name given over the centuries, all these traditions speak of the same force, an energy that permeates the air and can be cultivated, directed, and expanded. If you look at ancient texts, you'll see that breath control has always been a key component in spiritual rituals. The masters knew that altering the rhythm and depth of the breath didn't just change the internal state, but also the connection to something greater: pranic meditation. Hindu sages used breathing techniques to access elevated states of consciousness and align energy centers. Taoist breathing. In Taoism, certain breathing patterns were used to store and circulate vital energy throughout the body. Sacred chants. In various cultures, practices like Gregorian chanting or Tibetan mantras involve specific breathing patterns to generate states of ecstasy and mental clarity. Prayer and breathing. In Christian and Islamic traditions, rhythmic breathing was used unconsciously during prayers and devotional repetitions, aiding concentration and surrender. No matter the culture, the pattern is the same. Those who master their breath master their energy, and those who master their energy master their reality. But few truly do this. Most people keep living on autopilot, unaware of the power they carry with every breath. Have you noticed how your breath changes when you're nervous? When you're scared, it becomes short and quick. When you're relaxed, it's long and deep. What almost no one tells you is that it works both ways. Your emotional state affects your breath, but your breath can also alter your emotional state. This isn't mysticism, it's science. Your nervous system operates in two main modes, the sympathetic, fight or flight, and the parasympathetic, rest and regeneration. Most people live stuck in the first, always on alert, always anxious. What they don't know is that breathing has the power to manually trigger the second mode, activating a deep state of calm and focus. Are you breathing in a way that strengthens you, or in a way that keeps you stuck in stress? It all comes down to the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions like heart rate, digestion, and hormone production. Here's what happens when you breathe consciously. Short and shallow breathing, sympathetic mode, signals danger, increases cortisol, and puts your body in a state of alert. Long and deep breathing, parasympathetic mode, reduces heart rate, releases relaxing neurotransmitters, and stabilizes your system. Your breath not only reflects your emotional state, it creates it. By controlling the air that enters and exits, you literally hack your own biological system. Ever heard that deep breathing calms the mind? What no one explains to you is the real reason behind this. Breathing directly alters your brain chemistry. Here's how. Serotonin. Long, controlled breaths increase the levels of this neurotransmitter, improving mood and the sense of well-being. Endorphins. Deep breathing techniques stimulate the release of these natural substances, reducing pain and bringing a feeling of pleasure and relaxation. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, an essential neurotransmitter to reduce anxiety and bring mental clarity. Slow breathing activates its calming effect. Natural DMT, some advanced breathing techniques like holotropic breathwork, can stimulate the release of small amounts of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a substance associated with higher states of consciousness and spiritual visions. This means that your breath has the power to put you in a state of mental clarity, focus, and emotional balance without the need for stimulants, without the need for medications. Now you understand why monks and yogis spend hours practicing conscious breathing. They weren't just meditating. They were activating neurochemical states that science is only beginning to understand. There's one point that almost no one notices: the brief instant between inhaling and exhaling. This gap is a portal, a space where the mind dissolves for a moment where your intuition can arise. When you learn to focus on that empty space between breaths, something curious happens. You start accessing answers without needing to think about them. Great spiritual masters use this principle to receive deep insights. Some called it the whispers of the universe, others called it connection with the higher self. But the truth is simple. Your breath can open doors to a level of perception that most people will never experience. Now think. If your breath alters your internal perception, what happens when you change your breath while interacting with the external world? A slow and deep breathing rhythm increases clarity and presence, and you start noticing details that you once overlooked. A rhythmic and balanced breath changes the way you perceive time. The world seems to slow down, and you gain more control over your reactions. An energizing and expansive breathing technique can make you feel a deeper connection to everything around you, as if you're seeing the world with new eyes. In other words, by transforming your breath, you transform your perception. Now imagine what would happen if there were an advanced method that took this expansion even further, something so powerful that monks in Tibet used it to awaken internal heat, endure extreme temperatures, and access elevated states of consciousness. This isn't imagination. This technique exists, and from now on, we'll teach you how to do it. There's an ancient technique practiced by Tibetan monks that not only allows you to generate internal heat in extreme conditions, but also activates a heightened state of consciousness and awakens a latent power within you. This technique is called Tummo, also known as the breath of the inner fire. For centuries, it remained hidden in the monasteries of the Himalayas, used by advanced practitioners seeking not only physical endurance, but a profound mastery over their own energy. Monks who master Tummo can consciously raise their body temperature, withstand extreme cold, and access intense meditation states. But the technique goes beyond that. It activates an inner fire that, according to spiritual traditions, can burn away emotional blockages and expand your perception of reality. And this is not just an ancient belief. Science has already proven that people who practice Tummo experience real changes in their physiology, including increased blood circulation and the release of neurotransmitters that induce mental clarity and inner strength. To practice Tummo correctly, it's essential to prepare the environment. Ideally, you should be in a quiet place where you can concentrate without distractions. Your posture is also crucial. Sit with your spine straight, either in a lotus position or just maintaining the stability of your torso. Your body should be relaxed, but at the same time alert. Since this technique generates internal heat, avoid heavy clothing, as your body may react unexpectedly during the practice. The first step is to begin with a few deep, gentle breaths, just to stabilize the mind and prepare the body. Close your eyes and focus on the center of your abdomen, around the navel area. Visualize a small flame or sphere of heat growing at this point. This flame symbolizes your vital energy, and as the breath progresses, it will begin to expand. Now, begin the vigorous breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling the air expand your abdomen and activate that inner flame. Hold the breath for a few seconds and gently contract the pelvic floor, as if holding energy within the body. During this retention, imagine the heat rising up the spine, spreading through the chest and reaching up to the head. When you exhale, release the air through the mouth in a controlled manner, mentally directing that heat to every cell of your body. This cycle should be repeated for about 10 to 15 minutes, always respecting your own limits. As the practice deepens, you may start to feel intense physical sensations, such as real heat spreading throughout your body, tingling in the extremities, and even changes in the perception of the environment. Many practitioners report a spontaneous emotional release, as if old blockages are beginning to dissolve. Others experience an extremely clear mental state, where thoughts seem to slow down and intuition becomes sharper. The practice of Tummo doesn't require years of experience to start feeling its effects, but consistency is essential. For beginners, 3 cycles of 5 breaths are enough to activate the first signs of the technique. Over time, the intensity can be increased, leading to a deeper mastery of your own energy. The important thing is not to force beyond your own rhythm. If at any point you feel dizziness or extreme discomfort, return to natural breathing and allow your body to adjust. Mastering Tummo is about accessing a source of power that's always been within you, but has remained dormant. When you activate this inner fire, you begin to realize that the body and mind are not barriers, but tools to expand your own consciousness. This technique is just one of many keys to unlocking your true potential. If what you've learned so far seems powerful, wait until you discover how to direct this energy to transform your reality. Now that you've learned the Tummo technique and experienced its effects on the body and mind, it's time to take this practice to an even deeper level. Visualization is one of the most powerful components of breathwork. In Tummo, the flame that grows at the center of the abdomen is a clear example of this. But the truth is, you can direct the breath to any area of the body and for any purpose. Some spiritual traditions teach that the color of the imagined light can influence the effects of the practice. Visualizing a golden light while inhaling can bring a sense of vitality and expansion. A blue light may have a calming effect, while white light can represent purification and clarity. What matters isn't the color itself, but the intention you place into the practice. In addition to visualization, intention acts as an amplifier for the energy generated by the breath. If you just breathe mechanically, the effects will still be there, but in a more limited way. The moment you add a clear purpose to your breath, whether it's to increase your energy, heal a repressed emotion, or simply expand your perception, your mind and body begin to work together to achieve that goal. During the practice, you can reinforce your intention with internal affirmations. As you inhale, you might mentally repeat something like, "I am absorbing pure, renewing energy." During the retention, you might tell yourself, "This energy is activating my inner power." And as you exhale, you might feel like you are releasing blocks or accumulated tension. Another way to deepen the experience is by focusing the breath in the heart area. Chest breathing, when combined with a state of gratitude or love, has an immediate effect on the nervous system. Scientific studies show that when a person enters this state of heart coherence, where emotion and breath are aligned, there's a significant reduction in stress levels and an increase in the sense of well-being. Advanced practitioners use this technique to enter deep meditative states and to strengthen positive feelings like compassion and courage. The connection between breath and visualization isn't just a baseless belief. Experiments in neuroscience show that the mind doesn't fully distinguish between something that is being visualized and something that is being experienced in the physical world. This means that when you imagine light flowing through your body as you breathe, there's a real response happening on a biological level. Your brain is interpreting this experience as something concrete, and your body responds accordingly. The practice is simple but powerful. As you inhale, imagine you're absorbing the energy from your environment, pulling it into your body as if being charged by an invisible source of power. As you hold your breath, visualize this energy expanding within you, activating energy centers and unlocking any resistance. As you exhale, feel that you're releasing what no longer serves you, dissolving physical, emotional, and mental tensions. If you practice this daily, you'll begin to notice subtle changes in the way you feel. Small moments of clarity will arise spontaneously. Your intuition will become stronger. The world around you will seem clearer, and over time, you'll realize that you are not just an observer of your reality, but someone capable of shaping it according to your own intention. In various spiritual traditions and healing systems, there are centers known as chakras, meridians, or energy fields. The name might vary, but the concept is the same. There is an invisible flow of energy running through you at this very moment. And the way this energy moves, or gets blocked, directly impacts your well-being, mental clarity, and your connection to higher states of consciousness. Most people go through life without ever noticing this energy. They feel tension in their chest, heaviness in their stomach, a tightness in their throat, but they never stop to ask themselves, is this just physical, or is something else going on here? When we begin to observe our breath and consciously direct it to different parts of the body, something surprising happens. We start to feel this energy. And more than that, we learn to unlock it. The energy centers, or chakras, are distributed along the spine, each corresponding to different aspects of our existence. The root chakra, located at the base of the spine, is connected to safety and survival. If this area is blocked, it's common to feel constant fear and a lack of stability. The solar plexus chakra, where you practice Tummo breathing, is connected to personal power and self-confidence. When activated correctly, you feel a real inner warmth, a sense of strength and determination that doesn't depend on external factors. The heart chakra is the center of emotions and connection with others. When the breath focuses on this area, there's a natural release of accumulated tension and a feeling of emotional openness. But how do you know if one of these centers is blocked? The body always gives signals. If there's a constant weight in the stomach area, it could be a buildup of repressed emotions. If the breath is always shallow and trapped in the upper chest, it may indicate anxiety or resistance to expressing feelings. If there's pressure between the eyebrows or in the head during meditation, it could be a sign that your intuition is trying to manifest, but something still needs to be released. The good news is that breathing is one of the most effective tools for unlocking these energy centers. Every inhale brings new energy into the body. Every exhale releases tension and blockages. When we consciously direct the flow of breath to different parts of the body, we can literally feel those areas being activated. Try this now. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, bringing your attention to the base of your spine. Inhale and feel that area strengthening. Exhale and imagine any tension or fear dissolving. Now move your attention to the center of your chest. Inhale deeply and feel the energy expanding in this region. Exhale and release any emotional weight you're carrying. Repeat this process in different parts of the body and observe how you feel. With practice, you'll begin to notice subtle signs of activation. It might be a slight vibration in certain areas, unexpected warmth, or a feeling of internal expansion. These are signs that your energy is moving, that you're awakening to a deeper perception of your own being. But here's a crucial point. When working with your internal energy, it's essential to maintain balance. Pushing too hard can cause discomfort. Ignoring signals from the body can lead to an excess of accumulated energy. The key is conscious practice, respecting the natural rhythm of your awakening. Now that you've started feeling the energy moving through your body, it's time to face one of the biggest challenges of internal awakening: emotional blockages. Most people carry traumas, tensions, and negative patterns accumulated over the course of their lives. These emotional burdens don't disappear on their own. They get stored in the body, influencing your thoughts, reactions, and even your physical health. When an emotion is repressed, it doesn't vanish. It manifests in other ways. Anxiety, chronic pain, excessive fatigue, and even difficulties in making decisions can be symptoms of stagnant emotional energy. Conscious breathing works as a natural unblocker, bringing to the surface what needs to be processed. And once these emotions are acknowledged and released, there's an almost immediate sense of relief, clarity, and renewal. In some more intense practices, like holotropic breathing or circular breathing, this process can go even deeper. During these techniques, the body's oxygen levels rise, leading to altered states of consciousness where repressed emotions may emerge spontaneously. Some people report uncontrollable crying, unexpected laughter, or even inner visions during these experiences. This happens because the breath is accessing parts of the subconscious that are usually hidden. But don't worry if nothing too dramatic happens in your first few sessions. Sometimes healing happens in a more subtle way. You might simply notice that after a conscious breathing session, you feel lighter, more present, and less caught up in repetitive thoughts. Small changes like this are signs that something is moving inside of you, that the release process has already started. The most important thing on this path is consistency. The more you practice, the more sensitive you become to what's happening within you. Breathwork doesn't just bring emotional clarity, it also teaches you to trust your own intuition, to notice patterns that used to go unnoticed, and to transform your energy consciously. So how do you integrate this practice into your daily life? To start incorporating this awareness into your routine, try small practices throughout the day. Before starting any important activity, take 3 deep, complete breaths. In addition to these short breaks throughout the day, you can use breathwork to transform negative emotional states into higher states of consciousness. If you're feeling anger, try lengthening your exhale, releasing the air slowly and controlled. This immediately activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing the impact of stress on your body. If you're feeling drained, try taking a few quick and intense breaths through your nose, waking up your inner vitality. If you need focus, try square breathing. Inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4 seconds, exhale for 4, and hold your lungs empty for another 4. This technique balances the mind and creates a state of deep concentration. Lack of time and discipline is one of the biggest obstacles for anyone wanting to incorporate a new practice, and with breathing, it's no different. Daily life is full of commitments, distractions, and urgencies, and the mind always finds justifications to delay what doesn't seem essential at the moment. But here's the truth. You don't need to set aside long periods of your day for breathing. Unlike a physical workout or a long meditation, breathing can be integrated at any moment, effortlessly, without needing to interrupt what you're doing. The key isn't about finding time, but rather linking the practice to moments that already exist in your routine. One of the most effective methods to create consistency is the habit trigger strategy. Instead of trying to remember to breathe consciously out of nowhere, associate the practice with actions you already do every day. You can use the first breath when you wake up. Before grabbing your phone or getting out of bed, take 3 deep, conscious breaths. This sets the rhythm for your day from the very start. The shower as a reset moment. Use your time in the shower to practice conscious breathing, feeling the air come in and out while the water washes away any accumulated tension. Strategic work breaks. Whenever you switch tasks or feel like you're losing focus, take a few deep breaths before continuing. This boosts productivity without taking extra time. Before meals, before starting to eat, take a slow, deep breath. This activates your digestive system and puts you in a more relaxed state to better absorb nutrients. Transitions between activities. If you're leaving work, getting in the car, or switching environments, use that moment to release tension with a deeper breath. Before bed, if your mind gets restless at night, breathe rhythmically to calm your body and prepare for a deeper sleep. Creating small visual reminders can also be a great ally. Leave a post-it on your bathroom mirror, set a discreet alarm on your phone, or even use everyday objects as anchors. Every time you grab a glass of water or open a door, for example, it could be a cue to remind you to breathe consciously. Another important factor is self-compassion. Many people give up because they feel like they've failed at maintaining a daily practice. But it's not about perfection. It's about progressive consistency. If one day goes by without practicing, just pick it back up the next day, no guilt. A small adjustment is always better than giving up completely. Over time, this breath awareness will become natural. You'll notice you won't need reminders anymore because your body and mind will start asking for these pauses. And when that happens, breathing stops being just a technique and becomes a way of life. If up until now you felt stuck with the idea that you don't have time or discipline to practice, try these strategies and see the difference. You don't need to change your routine, you just need to integrate breathing into what you're already doing. And when you notice the impact of this change, you'll never see your own breath the same way again.